Tim here with Canadian Running Magazine. Today we're looking at the Nike Air Zoom Terra Kiger 4. This is one of two Nike trail running shoes, Kiger 4 as well as the Wild Horse. This is the lighter, more racer-friendly version of the two. So this is the 2017 model that's carried over basically into 2018. As you can tell, it's basically as close to a Pegasus as they come. The lugs are not super deep, and it's basically a cut down version of a lot of the tougher, more rugged trail running shoes that you'll see out there. Some things we really like on this shoe: the fly wire upper. First off, bit of breathability, not super thick. Again, it's less than a 10-ounce shoe for a trail running shoe, which is definitely on the lighter side. It's neutral cushioned. There's no rock plate, and the heel counter is basically just non-existent. It's really just like a road running shoe in that regard. You don't have a lot of support in the heel, but at the same time, this is a perfect shoe kind of for the 50K to 50-mile ultra. It's flexibility like a road running shoe, actually. So down on the bottom here, you see the lugs are pretty significant. They're not super deep. At the same time, you do see a bit of mud buildup. Not gonna be a huge problem. Around the back here, the lugs do kind of extend up higher into the heel than basically flush. If you're running quickly down hills and you feel like you're on your heels a lot, that's good for traction. At the same time, that traction extends right up to the toe if you're going up hills. So like most Nike shoes, you have the Nike Zoom cushioning, which is pretty traditional across the road racing shoes and even into the racing shoes. As much as Nike does have a ton of road racing shoes, they really only have two trail runners, the Kiger 4 and the Wild Horse, which is a bit heavier and a bit more robust if you're doing 100Ks or even 100 milers. So on the top here, you do have the fly wire lacing. In our experience, the fit is not super snug, and at the same time, it could be a bit prone to ripping, especially on technical terrain, as it is just the basic kind of fly wire setup. As you can see around the heel, there's not really a lot of ankle support. The cut of the shoe is relatively low, like the Pegasus, like the structure, like a lot of the Nike road running shoes. This is gonna be basically for your neutral shoe. If in regards to pronation, you're not an over pronator, you're not an under pronator. So through the gate, you're basically just landing flat and then up to toe off. The offset is 4 millimeters. You have 24 stack in the heel and a 20 millimeter stack in the toe. One other thing to note is it does have a wider toe box if you do feel like you have a wider foot and do need a bit of extra room around the toes. If you have a narrow foot, that might lead to a bit of blistering. If you do have orthotics, one thing to note is the removable insole, which is always a bit nice. It's relatively simple. You have just the fly wire upper, which is just basically one piece of mesh. You know, they do go a bit funky on the bottom here with the treads and the traction, but all around it does really look like a road racing shoe or even a road running shoe. For the women's model, it's 7.9, and for the men's, it's 9.7 ounces. So if you're watching this video, the shoe is available now. It's gonna be $170 Canadian